What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're here at Highland Brewery and we're not going to be throwing shots. We're going to be practicing putting because it doesn't matter how far you can throw, how accurately you can throw, unless you're throwing it into the basket, you're going to need to putt at some point. So we're going to run through a couple of different styles of putting because I use a couple different styles of putting. But we're going to start with the closest to the basket option first. Let's get into it. Now my putting putter of choice is the Champion Rhino. I brought out 3 of them. This one is my go-to. This pink one, it's my go-to for forehand approaches, backhand approaches, some tee shots. It's getting very straight. As far as gumminess goes, this disc is so soft and flexible now versus a much newer one. It just doesn't have the same, right? So the more beats up, the more gummy it's going to get, especially that is being Champion. They're gonna straighten out. It's already an overstable mold, so it's just gonna kind of straighten out, lose a little bit of that finish, the first little bit of wear and tear that you get. So makes it great for putting. I like this little thumb track because it gives my thumb something to find so I can flick it at the basket. We're just gonna go with the shortest option, which if I'm probably, let's say, anywhere inside of about 20, maybe even 15 feet, I'm mostly just gonna go with a pitch putt. Gonna put the disc in my hand, make sure that my thumb is on that thumb track, and then I'm just gonna kind of open, extend, and pop my thumb at the basket. So putting distance-wise, I switch up the putting stroke, or kind of the cues that I use. The putt may come out the same. It might look the same to everybody else, but me personally, I use different cues when I get different distances so that I have a little bit more confidence. I'm like, oh, this is edge of circle. I need my edge of circle cue instead of 15 feet, just step it up. Don't think about it, because if you think about your 15-footer, you're gonna miss, or at least me. Don't think about it, just step up, and pretty accurate. I had 2 in a row. 3 in a row. This stroke is very comfortable, confident for me from close range. Pretty good at just stepping up, popping it. If I think about it too much, which we're gonna get into the think about it too much here in just a second, but if I think about it too much, likelihood is I'm going to try to aim at a chain link or aim at this and do that, and it's gonna grip lock, it's gonna stick to my hand, it's gonna do something. Step up. Everyone can throw a disc 15 feet. Step up and just right there. This is the edge of the circle. So from here, the tap-in range could work, but to have more confidence from here, I end up going a little bit more spin. So for my spin putt, I'm still focusing on the thumb because the thumb helps keep it nose up and helps it glide. Because if I'm not focusing on the thumb, for me personally, my putting form, my putting stroke, if I'm not focusing on the thumb, who knows where it'll go, right? Any accuracy, I have to have a good thumb placement, which is why the plastic texture, the plastic grip for me makes way more difference, because I have to have this. I have to have it, or I'm just no accuracy. But as we're starting to get a little bit further away from the basket, just stepping up and popping it could work, but I want more confidence. So from here, I'm going to think flex. I'm going to think Anheuser putt almost. Not true, put it on aggressive Anheuser, but I'm just going to try to give it a little bit of drift. And since it's a stable disc, it's just going to kind of end up going straight. But that flex is going to help it be a little more nose up and a little more glidey. So from here, oh no, I need my grip. Lost my grip. That's why I putt with this one. Oh yeah, need to be a little closer. Let me read you that. I also realized the thing that makes me miss putting when I'm filming putting, when I'm filming like a putting Formwork video, I typically, if I'm just playing through a course and playing around, I have no problems putting. It's when I'm trying to talk to the camera while I'm putting, and I try to almost leave my body open to the camera so my voice carries so that I can continue talking when I need to just square up and putt. So it's cool that I figured it out. Also, that's what I mean when I say just a little bit. You're not trying to ante it. You're not trying to actually make it swing. You're going straight at it. But the disc has a little bit of fade, natural fade on it. So I'm just making sure that it's flat. But I'm also spinning it. I'm giving it a little bit more wrist from this distance so that it has the spin, so it has the glide to get all the way there. I'm still not going max distance power putt because that accuracy is very off. But from here, from this range, I missed 3 in a row, and then I squared up properly and I knocked down 3 in a row. So is that saying something? Maybe just square up to your putts. Maybe they'll go in that way. And so I don't know if you've noticed, but when I'm putting, I tend to have, if I have a higher release, not up here, but if my release is a little bit more like chest level and not stomach level, if it comes out of the stomach, I'm either trying to putt really fast and firm to get underneath something and still make it there, or it's a bad putt. But if it's coming out here, that means I'm actually giving it the hang time, giving it the air, giving it the nice little spin and pop to actually get it to where it's going. So this time, watch my wrist. Watch my wrist so that you can see that I am actually flicking the disc towards the basket. It doesn't look like much, but it's all in the timing of if you have the proper grip on the proper disc, the proper timing, you don't have to try, it just goes in. Lost my grip there. Square up. See how I'm coming through? Yeah. And then I tried to Gannon Burr putt straight nose down. I don't putt very well nose down, which is why downhill putts for me typically are going to be very inconsistent because I don't putt nose down. I putt nose up. So if I'm trying to go down a hill and putt downhill but still putt nose up, what can you do? Well, turns out if you throw a disc on Anheuser, it falls out of the sky. And if you throw a disc on Heiser, it climbs. Well, throw a disc. So if we want it to stay low going down a hill, give it a little bit more Anheuser maybe. Like I said, I'm not good at this. I'm really not good at putting downhill. I'm gonna go see if I can find a spot where we can putt with a low ceiling so I can demonstrate that little bit more line drive straight at the basket, because that one brings in a lot less of the floaty, spinny, pushy putt and a lot more of the fast spin putt, and that's where it can get away from you. Highland, they do have like a warm-up area with a bunch of baskets you can practice putting. They keep it pretty well trimmed up. So we're gonna use this gap right here. Like I said, I had to find a gap to do. But here, instead of focusing necessarily all on the thumb, I'm gonna try to line it up almost like it's a backhand grip, right? It's still gonna be in the fan configuration, but more backhand grip. And I'm gonna try to put the rim of the disc into the chains with the back of my hand. So this is really, it is a mixture between a throw and a spin putt. There is no push putt involved. Oh, that branch too far to the right. Okay, move left a little. This should work. So it is a little more stabby if you're coming here, or if you're coming straight back, but if you bring it back a little bit more this way, you can still have the same space of your putting swing. It's just a different orientation to your body, so it makes aiming difficult. Oh, I gotta get off my knee. I have mulch sticking in my knee now. That's fun. It makes aiming a good bit more difficult, but if you can figure it out, it's gonna make your straddle putts better as well. And now, let's pick these up. Let's try a straddle. So for me, being a right-hand backhand dominant staggered stance putter, stagger putts or straddle putts, very difficult for me to get the aim right. I can get the power, but then the way I generate power in a look, I'll show you real quick. Stuck behind this tree, I straddle out. Most people, when they straddle, they go more to a straight up and down pitch putt. I can't do that. This is a rhino. It falls out of the sky. It needs to be spun. It has to be spun to get there. So I generate power in the putt basically the same way. I'm shifting from left to right. So it's a little side to side, but it makes my putt, I basically have to finish my putt here instead of at the basket because it's following this trajectory similar to a throw. Right off the top. Right up. So, yeah, 3 misses. But do you see how my straddle is different than a lot of other people's straddle? It brings a lot of, well, misses into play. But I think it allows me to stay true to my staggered stance more than if I just say, okay, I'm going to have one stroke specifically for straddle putting and all of the other strokes for staggered stance. I don't want that. I want to be able to do the exact same thing. So I figure out a way around it so that I can do the exact same thing, which is why if I straddle, if I ever putt on a straddle putt and I have the option to go right or left, I'm straddling left. A lot of other people want to straddle right because then it keeps their arm free. No, I'll smash the back of my hand into whatever I'm putting around because I need the power to come from my left hip. When you're a little bit more spinny, that's what happens, I guess. And just like there's so many different types of throws, there's so many different types of putts. You have hyzer putts, you have anhyzer putts, you have flat putts, you have flex putts, you have upside down putts. You can, if you wrote all of those down on the list, I could demonstrate them. However, the ones that I mostly go to are gonna be that soft flex, which tends to end up laser beam straight right into the basket, hyzer putting. So I'm really bad at hyzer putts too, because this doesn't like to go around stuff. Yeah. Which is why, if I have the option, I'm also going to anhyzer putt. The same putting stroke, just finishes more left than you normally would, and it finishes more wrist down, hand up. Because if you're finishing here on a hyzer putt, it's going to be pretty neutral. But if you're anhyzer putting, you have to finish down here, or it's just a nose up putt. Almost. So keep it up, and you're not really pushing from the underside, you're just making sure that this is down, so that as you extend, whatever you do to get power and spin on your putt, make sure your wrist is almost down. Little angle, but you get the idea. So those are most of the different things that I do when I'm out here putting and they're actually going in. Hopefully you guys enjoy content like this. If so, please make sure to like the video. If you want to see new stuff though, make sure to comment that down below. Please make sure to subscribe. It helps you guys out with these subscriber-only giveaways. And if you want to be automatically entered into monthly giveaways, check out the memberships as well. Until next time, see you out on the course.